I got a feeling that tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's gonna be a good night. That tonight's
Belinda Alejandro Celestina.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself no husband, no kids, big house, a lot of money.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
The people, actually.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Have fun and slow down. It moves very, very fast.
My name is Adrian Manza.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself owning a business and making money. So
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
I'll probably miss my friends and all the clubs I'm a part of.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
My advice is to do your work and make a lot of friends and have fun.
Brody Archer.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
A millionaire.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
I guess the amount of friends I have.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Keep up on your hygiene.
Angel Ariana Suarez.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years, I see myself being local, helping run my dad's construction business, just expansion and I guess providing to the community.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
The most, probably the tight-knit community, everybody getting along, people knowing one another. I think that's probably what I'll miss the most.
Okay. And then what's your advice for the freshmen?
For the freshmen, don't be afraid to go out and try new things. Be involved, have fun. I know it's easy nowadays to kind of think that we shouldn't do some stuff, but I say go for it, have fun.
Luis Manuel.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself in a big house, a TRX, a Shelby GT500, and a Cadillac STSP outside of my house.
What would you miss more about Olathe High School?
My friends.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Do your work and don't be like other persons. Just be yourself.
Jacob, Avila, or Turbo.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself hopefully in 10 years, still living around here in Montrose at least with my family. I have a niece and nephew, so hopefully I'm still around here and then hopefully have my own house, and that's pretty much it.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Probably my friends, being around with all my friends and having a good time.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
The advice for upcoming freshmen, I'd say be on time, do your work, and work hard.
Peyton Ayers.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Working on nails or any type of cosmetology.
What will you miss more about Olathe High School?
Probably just how easy it is compared to going into the workforce and having to pay rent and all that.
What advice would you give to the upcoming freshmen?
To just lock in and do your work. Really focus on high school, keep your grades up, and just try to complete high school. Don't give up.
Tyler Banuelos.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Graduated from college, married, and hopefully starting a family and own my own house.
What will you miss the most about Olathe High School?
The people.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't suck.
Anthony Bowerman.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I don't know. Maybe owning a restaurant, but I don't know. Or out in the middle of nowhere chasing a tornado.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
I don't know. A mix of all of it, really.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't be disrespectful.
My name is Peyton Briggs.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself hopefully as a veterinarian with my own practice somewhere in the mountains.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Something I will miss most about Olathe High School is all the friendships that I've made here and all the opportunities I've had the chance to participate in.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Some advice I have for the upcoming freshmen is take your chance and get involved with as many opportunities as you can. They will prove to be very valuable for your future.
Alex Pena. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Graduated college and hopefully managing a business.
Good. What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
The community and just the friendships I made here.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshman?
Probably to just stay in class because it goes fast.
My name is Julie Columbia.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I'm hoping that I have graduated college and am a sonographer at a women's center.
Okay. What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
I'll miss all the students, all my friends.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Make sure you turn in all your work on time. Don't slack, especially your sophomore year.
My name is Lizzie Korn.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself teaching a classroom in an elementary school somewhere and hopefully married. So.
What will you miss more about Olathe High School?
I think I'll miss the people. I think just because we have such a small community, we all know each other and it's a lot of fun.
What is your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
My advice for the upcoming freshmen is to not care about what everybody thinks of you. Just have fun. So.
Miley Dessauer.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully in 10 years I'm running my own cattle operation and TIG welding on the side.
What will you miss the most about Olathe High School?
I'll miss the most about the community within the school and everything that is about it and just the family-like community within.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
My advice for the upcoming freshmen is get everything you can done, get all your requirements done, and then so you can have fun your senior year.
Theranines.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Either working at an offshore oil rig or working in cybersecurity.
Okay, what will you miss most about Olathe High School?
I think mostly I'll miss being able to see my friends every day, mostly that, and also being able to see Mr. Knapp and saying what's up to him. Hi, Mr. Knapp.
And then what's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Well, just do the best you can, honestly.
Okay.
Just, that's basically it.
I'm Connor Ecker.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself in college, getting my master's degree.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
I'd have to say faculty and my friends.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Make the most of your high school career because when you're a senior, you're going to regret when you didn't do as much as you wish you did. And build these memories now instead of later.
My name is Adrian Enrique. In 10 years, I see myself happy. I see myself owning my own business, making money. Yeah. What will you miss most? My friends, the people. There's not a lot of people here, but we made it a community. My advice for freshmen, just be yourself. I don't know. Have fun. Do sports. You only do this once.
Andrea Garcia.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully being a high school English teacher.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
The people and the teachers.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Do your work.
I'm Isaiah Gordon.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself hopefully getting married and starting a family.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Probably playing basketball is probably what I'll miss the most.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't talk to any of the seniors.
My name is Andrew Greniger.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself still here in the Valley.
Okay. What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
The thing that I'll miss most about high school, I guess, is probably my friends and all my underclassmen friends.
Yep. What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Oh, my advice for the upcoming freshmen is stay on top of it in your senior year, unlike me.
My name is Gabby Diaz.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I hope to pursue my dream career.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Probably the people.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Date within your grade.
My name is Isabella Haywood.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully alive, having graduated from college,
Okay.
doing whatever occupation I've found interest in.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Definitely my teachers as well as my friends. Mr. Cotter is definitely amazing. I encourage any freshman or upcoming freshmen to join choir.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshman?
Definitely do not procrastinate. It will bite you. It is not good to procrastinate.
Anna Mary Heredia Garcia.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Married, hopefully, with a loving husband and maybe 1 or 2 children.
What will you miss more about Olathe High School?
Being with my friends and just hanging out with them.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't ditch.
Mauricio Herrera.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years, I see myself as a successful automotive technician, working on all kinds of cars and just making a living.
All right. What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Honestly, it's just being a freshman and experiencing that for the first time. Honestly, just the homecoming, all the parades, everything is probably like one of the funnest things you get to do in high school, and honestly, you wouldn't want to miss it if it was your first time.
I got you. What's your advice to the for the upcoming freshmen?
So honestly, just lock in, go to your classes. Like it's gonna get harder, but as soon as you finish your sophomore year, it's just gonna get a lot easier. So just get through all your classes. You guys can make it. It's not as hard as it looks, and yeah, it's way shorter than you guys think. So just enjoy it.
My name's Colton.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself going into the workforce.
Okay. What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
I'll miss the community here. I'll miss a lot of the activities that I've never done. A
Okay.
lot of missed opportunities.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Relax until you get to your junior year.
Holly Hudson.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Probably buying a house, hopefully.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Probably either Mr. Cotter or Mr. Spar. They're the most encouraging teachers ever.
Okay. What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't procrastinate. It will suck to catch up.
William Hyde.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Probably being a firefighter.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
The community with my friends.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't fall behind on your work. Just get it done.
My name is Kira Iverson.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I will be almost 28. So I see myself hopefully in CRNA school. I'll have already been a BSN and working in the ICU. So I see myself hopefully getting that degree and pursuing my career.
Nice. What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
I really miss our community, actually, having such a tight, knit group of people that we have actually known our entire lives. It's going to be so weird to not have that.
Yeah. And then the last question, what's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
My advice for the upcoming freshmen is to get involved. We have so many clubs and opportunities actually to really figure out what you like and make a lot of friends and build your resume so that you really can go into adulthood kind of knowing what you like and having some good connections to build that.
Ruby.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I'm going to be working as a NICU nurse and hopefully traveling the world.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Laughing in class with my friends.
And what's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
To lock in and only ditch once a week.
Sebastian Jimenez.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself working in healthcare and making money.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Probably my friends and like the community we have here.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't take anything for granted. Make sure you stay on top of your grades because it really does come for you on your senior year.
Rylan Kimball.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years from now?
Rich, with a family, and being successful at my job.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
My office best friends, Janelyn and Miss Gray and Miss Jimenez.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Go to class. Don't ditch school every day. It'll catch up to you.
Cheyenne Kuykendall.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Real estate agent.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Probably the community.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
To join a sport, get involved, and try to do as much things as possible.
Aurelie Laura,
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
happily married and with a family.
What will you miss more about Olathe High School?
My friends,
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
do your work and don't slack off.
Karen Laura,
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
hopefully happily married.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
My friends and us teaching.
What's your advice for the freshmen?
Do your work and don't ditch.
I'm Bryson Lewis.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Out of college with a good job.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
The water fountains.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Play sports and do extracurriculars.
My name is Daniel Martin.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself working in construction, stable job, getting some money. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I see myself.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Probably just my friends. That's it.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
That grades matter. Yeah.
My name is Ezra McClellan.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself on my stable job of being a fish daddy.
Nice. And then what about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
I'll mostly miss my friends is what I'll miss most.
Me too. What's the advice for the freshmen?
Watch out for next year's seniors.
My name is Kyle McCracken.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself having a beautiful wife, kids, and also living here in the Uncompahgre Valley.
What will you miss the most about Olathe High School?
The things I will miss most about Olathe High School are the student and teacher friends that I've made throughout the years, shooting for the Olathe Archer team, and the small community that we grew up in.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
My advice for the upcoming freshmen is to be yourself, take high school seriously. If you have an interest in a sport or club, just do it so you won't have any regrets in the future. And also enjoy every moment because it goes by really fast.
I'm Amish McNutt.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully making 7 figures.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
I think the thing I'll miss the most is honestly how great the teachers are, because most of them keep trying to hear to make you most successful, even some of the teachers, the counselors, stuff like that.
Okay. What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
It's better to walk blind than standing still in the fog.
Emiliano Nava.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself probably having a stable job.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
The easy days with my friends.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
I would recommend them to do sports whenever they first come in.
My name is Guadalupe.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself in a lake house.
What will you miss about Olathe High School?
Our lunch, honestly.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Do not block the hallways.
María de Aro.
¿Cómo te ves en 10 años?
Terminando la universidad y ejerciendo en lo que estudié.
¿Qué vas a extrañar de Olathe High School?
Nada.
¿Cuál es tu consejo para los próximos estudiantes de nuevo grado?
Que le echen ganas y no se salten las clases.
Reina Padilla.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself having a family and hopefully working in whatever career I choose.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
The teachers and the people who supported me throughout my high school years.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't miss school and always enjoy the time that you have with your classmates because it would be gone by the time you know it.
Daniela. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? In 10 years, I see myself traveling the world.
Okay, what will you miss the most about Olathe High School?
I think the thing that I'll miss the most will be my friends.
What is your advice for upcoming freshmen?
My advice for upcoming freshmen is to enjoy life while you can.
My name is Miley Grader.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself continuing my passion for photography and creative work.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
I'll miss my friends and the teachers.
And then what's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Honestly, to just have fun and do what you enjoy Don't give up.
My name is Jaden.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself being a plumber,
Nice.
you know, helping the community out around here.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
The people.
Okay, what's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Watch out and lock into it.
Nick Perez.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Probably working, doing framing.
What will you miss the most about Olathe High School?
Probably the free gym.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Just do your homework.
Sandra.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully in vet school.
What will you miss the most about Olathe High School?
Honestly, nothing, but if we're being for real, nice, I'll miss the social aspect.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't skip as much as I did.
Chase Pyatt.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Probably over the road trucking in different states.
What would you miss most about Olathe High School?
Probably my friends that I
What-
probably won't see again.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Just turn your stuff in on time. It helps a lot.
I'm Eliana Ryder.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I plan to be a preschool teacher.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Probably the teachers.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't get senioritis your junior year.
Daniel and Trio.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I don't know, just working. Yes.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Just hanging out with friends, and I'm gonna miss Luis.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't procrastinate on your homework.
Mary Liz.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Owning a salon, hopefully married and kids.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Maybe socializing with everyone.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Maybe do everything while you can, go to prom and all those dances, and enjoy high school.
Susan Renteria.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I think I see myself working as a nurse in a hospital in the NICU unit.
Okay. What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
What I'll miss is like the unity we have together.
We all grew up together, so we all know each other very well.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
My advice for the upcoming freshmen is don't slack off, it will bite you. It's very important to stay on top of your stuff and find a good school balance with everything.
Nicole,
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
working as a therapist.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Nothing.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Lock in. Don't mess around. Focus on your grades.
Alexia,
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
having a family and a house,
What will you miss about Olathe High School?
lunch and friends.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't ditch.
Hi, my name is Tristan Sievers.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself doing some welding and maybe some machinist work with either my dad or hopefully a pipeline somewhere.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Personally, I think I will really miss the teachers and all the faculty. I really love going and just talking to them. It's like my favorite thing to do at lunch. It's just fun.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
My advice for upcoming freshmen is during your all your classes, while you're getting on your classes, put all of your important classes, like fill yourself up your freshman, sophomore year, because if you do that, it makes your junior year way easier, because normally your junior year is horrible. So always pack your freshman and sophomore year so it's easier when you're older and you can start working a little sooner and still doing school. It makes it so much nicer. You have free periods and stuff like that.
My name is Miles Ryland Standish.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself hopefully having a career that I find myself enjoying with hopefully financially stable.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
I think the thing that I'll miss the most is the community and the ability to do whatever you want. A lot of schools don't give you the opportunity to be able to do as much as you can here. if you want to do a sport, do it. There's not much stopping you from being able to do it.
Yeah. What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
I would just say take it slow and enjoy as much as you can because it's going to start speeding up real fast.
Areli.
¿Cómo te ves en 10 años?
Me veo como mi carrera hecha de lo que quiero estudiar en medicina.
¿Qué vas a extrañar de Olathe High School?
Voy a extrañar a los maestros y a mis amigos.
¿Cuál es tu consejo para los próximos estudiantes del nuevo grado?
Mi consejo es que nunca se rindan y siempre tengan claras sus metas y siempre luchen por sus sueños, porque todo se puede lograr si tienen claro lo que quieren hacer en un futuro.
My name is Alexander Straub.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Well, I either see myself working or in a grave.
Okay. What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
It's either Mr. Spar or walking through those doors to leave.
Okay, and then what's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
It gets worse. Way
Okay.
worse.
My name is Lily.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself owning a business.
What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
My friends.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
To make sure to be on top of your work. Just honestly have fun. Make it like cherish it while it lasts because it goes by fast.
My name is Azure Wallace.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Owning my own business and living on my own.
Okay. What about Olathe High School will you miss the most?
Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
To try to stay away from the seniors. They're like really weird.
Colton Walraven.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I just see myself working and, staying to myself.
All right. What will you miss about? What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
I think definitely most important thing I'll miss is the sports. Definitely basketball for me.
All right. What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Just stay humble, stay to yourself, and don't care what others think.
James Waterman.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Working fast food.
What would you miss most about Olathe High School?
Nothing.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Stay in class. Don't miss too much.
Yeah, my name's Quentin Wood.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I want to be working on AI systems. Graduated college.
What will you miss most about Olathe High School?
Probably the people and the small community and that kind of aspect of it.
What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Definitely to join clubs, be involved in school. It's what I did. I'm in, I think, every club but like 3 or 5 of them. And definitely makes it a lot more fun. A lot of opportunities open up, and yeah, so that's what I would say for sure. Jose.
All right. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself doing something very productive with my life.
All right. What will you miss about Olathe High School?
The freshmen.
All right. What's your advice for the upcoming freshmen?
Don't get tickled by the seniors.
All right, bro.
That tonight's gonna